Welcome to a talk with the County Manager. I'm Carol Bowden, Director of Public Affairs and Clerk to the Board of Wayne County Commissioners. And this is, of course, Craig Honeycutt, our County Manager. How you doing, Craig?
I'm good. Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, it's been a while since we've sat down and talked with you, so we've got a lot to talk about, I think.
Yes, we do.
You've been at this going on almost 9 months.
9 months.
And 23 plus years.
And
25 years.
25 plus years.
Yeah.
But it has been an incredible experience. And I feel very lucky and blessed to work with the staff that we have. And lucky and blessed to work with such a good board, and it's a very progressive board that we have.
A busy one.
And a very busy one. And it was a wonderful experience to work with George Wood and to be the assistant for the 9 months before he retired, and to kind of get thrown in but not say sink or swim. You know, George let me paddle around a little bit and try to get to understand, you know, the intricacies of Wayne County. So it was really a lot of fun, but the last 9 months have been a lot of fun as well.
Now, coming in under George as the assistant manager was a little different for you. You'd never been an assistant.
I've never been an assistant, and it was wonderful to learn from George. It was wonderful to learn from somebody with his experience and his background and his just vast amount of municipal and county government. So, you know, sometimes you think you know the right way to do things.
Sure.
And with his experience, it allowed me to do things a little bit differently and to try some things and really to concentrate on just being the assistant and how I could support George.
Right.
So, and that gave me
he was a mentor to a degree.
It really was. It was a, you know, even after, you know, 25 years, it's good to have a mentor that you can go to that really does still have 20 more years of experience than you do.
No doubt about it. I learned a lot. I only got to work with him a year as well, so he brought a great deal, and he left Wayne County a much better place.
Very much.
Than he found it. And so now you're continuing on, and so many projects. What, you know, the Maxwell Center has been open since you've been here, and that was so much fun.
It was an absolute team effort. One of the things I really got to thank is our executive director, James Wade. And James came in really at the 9th hour in trying to get the building complete and staffed and ready to open. He was here maybe 6 months before we opened the building.
Not long.
Not long at all. And he always says, well, I should have been here a year earlier. I should have been here a year earlier. But he had 6 months to do what he needed to do to get a staff and to get equipment and chairs and all those little things that you need to open a building, and just absolutely did a wonderful job doing that.
And it's just a beautiful facility.
It really is, and we're actually going to have James come in October to give an update on a lot of the projects and a lot of the events that are happening out at the Maxwell Center. I went by and met with him today, and to see the calendar of events and
what's it really
scheduled,
phenomenal?
Oh my gosh. Everything from weddings to corporate meetings to we're going to hold the graduation for the community college in December. So
that's fantastic.
We're working with the military right now on the military ball. So we're excited about that. So just fantastic. A lot of neat things that they're doing over at the Maxwell Center.
Let's kind of go behind the Maxwell Center a little bit, or to the front technically if you're looking at the Brickyard. The farmers market, that was another big event that has taken off and done well.
We've gotten really lucky on that. We've gotten some great impact. Kevin Johnson's done an incredible job of managing that, and his staff. You know, we changed the hours, especially on Saturdays.
A time or two.
A time or two, because the demand was there.
Exactly.
And we wanted to be very customer friendly and citizen oriented. So we had a board members who were concerned about the hours and felt like we needed to be open. The public was concerned, and we got it changed. But we're excited about how the summer went. Kevin's also going to come hopefully in the next month and talk about plans for the fall.
Maybe some pumpkins?
Yeah, have some pumpkins and some corn stalk. And,
oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, you know, there's a lot of things that are happening. Now I want to talk about, and it's a lot of really good stuff happening in Wayne County, but I want to add a little bit of controversy in here because sometimes bringing it up and facing it gives people the other side of the story because there are always three sides, right? So let's talk about some school issues. A lot of people don't stop to realize that this particular Board of Commissioners, the 7 men sitting there right now, have spent somewhere between $80 and $100 million on capital improvements for Wayne County just in the last not quite 6 years.
Well, and that's an incredible amount of money. And I'll be very honest, that's one of the reasons that really attracted me to Wayne County was that you did have a board that was willing to step up to the plate and to do the projects that needed to be done. There's only so long that you can kick the can down the road on capital projects.
Right.
And I think we're taking a very systematic approach to how we want to fund schools and trying to come up with a plan and working with Dr. Dunsmore and the school board, trying to see what is best for Wayne County. But we also got to be very cognizant about what we can afford and what we can't afford and what options we have, where our highest needs are, and we still got the K-3 class size issue to deal with that got put off for 3 years. So where does the current projects fit in with the K-3 class size mandates, and how do we just really fit that under one umbrella?
Exactly. So another part of the equation that a lot of people don't think about, the tax rate right now is lowered, or lower rather, than it was 6 years ago, and that's because of these commissioners.
Right.
So when the time came to talk about raising the tax level, or the tax rate, it actually was not even coming back to where it had been.
We were, I believe that since this group of board commissioners came on, they've cut the tax rate about 4 cents.
Wow.
And, you know, that really, 4 cents is approximately $3.2 million of annual income. So you give up that funding, but then you have the Maxwell Center, then you have EMS stations, then you have all the capital needs that we have, and still trying to keep it underneath, you know, where our current tax rate is. And we did look at a tax increase this year. It didn't pass, but one of the reasons it didn't pass is, and I applaud the board on this, is we're looking at options for that local sales tax.
Right.
And one of the things that I think will help sell the local sales tax, which is a 1/4 cent. So for every dollar that you spend, it's a 1/25th of 1 cent, 1/4 of 1 cent.
So $100 is a quarter.
$100 is a quarter.
And it doesn't.
That's right.
It has nothing. It cannot be applied to food or medicine.
Right.
So.
Right. So if we get that passed, that will help us do some of the capital projects that we need to do for schools, because the Board of Commissioners at our last month's meeting passed a resolution that basically said we're committing any increase of the sales tax to education, and that includes our public schools, but it also includes the community college.
That's fantastic. And you know, you brought up something, EMS stations, and you and I have talked before. The amount of EMS stations in Wayne County should blow everybody's mind, because you came from Alamance County.
I came from Alamance County, and we will have 11 substations here in Wayne County. In Alamance County, we had 3 substations. You know, we did have 2 units per station, but we only had 3 substations throughout the entire county.
That's just incredible.
The level of commitment that we have towards public safety in this community is really like no other community I've ever seen.
You know, and I'm very partial. Wayne County's home. I live and work here, but I see these good things, and as part of public affairs, it's our job to tell our own story.
Right.
So I appreciate you sharing that today, and also explaining the benefits to the sales tax versus raising property tax. farmers have had a couple of tough years with Hurricane Matthew, so that puts a burden on them. So the sales tax was a better way.
The sales tax everybody pays.
Right.
Regardless of who you are and income level, everybody pays the same amount, and really it's consumer driven. So if you don't spend it, you don't pay it.
That's
so
right.
it is consumer driven, and it is equal across the board. But again, sometimes without a plan, things like that will not pass. If we just said, hey, we just need the sales tax, we need another $2.4 million in our budget. Well, what you going to do with it? I don't know.
I don't know.
But we've decided, as a board, that public education in our community college system is really where that needs to go.
I could not agree more. And as I like to do, we've gone down that road where the controversial issues are. Now let's take it back up a little bit and end on a high note. Let's talk about Mark Pope, our new economic developer, because I know you're excited.
I'm extremely excited. Mark Pope is the president of the North Carolina Economic Development Association.
The entire state.
Mark is from Lenoir County. Mark has lived his whole life in Eastern North Carolina.
Right.
Mark understands Eastern North Carolina. He loves Eastern North Carolina. He has a passion for Eastern North Carolina.
And he's invested.
He's invested in Eastern North Carolina, and he gets it.
He does.
You really have to have that understanding of who we are and what we are to really be able to sell our community. So we're excited about Mark and what he brings to the table, his background, his experience, his connections.
That's huge right
which
there.
Which are incredible. So we got very lucky and blessed to get Mark Pope.
We have a group of great leaders right now, and that just to segue into that from Mark, there are over 30 departments. I didn't realize that. I kept thinking we had just under 30, but there are over 30 departments in Wayne County. And right now, what a solid group you have assisting you and Assistant County Manager Chip Crumpler.
Well, and we truly, and you don't know how much I appreciate Chip and the job Chip's doing. And Chip is a native of here in Goldsboro. Chip has worked for the county for over 18 years, the department head for 11 years. Chip is an incredible asset for our community.
He really is.
But we also then brought in Barry Gray.
Brought him back
home from
That's right.
Johnson County. Barry was a local guy, but he was planning director in Johnson County. So we're very lucky and blessed to have Barry as well. So we're really getting some really good talent that want to work for Wayne County, that are excited about Wayne County,
right?
And that see how wonderful a future that we have, and the progressive leadership that we've had from our board on how we can move a lot of things forward.
Well, maybe that's why we're so active. They see it, huh?
I need a nap.
You and me both. Well, I think we've covered enough.
Yeah.
We could probably sit here and talk all day because there's so much going on. But I think for right now, that probably does it, don't you?
That'll be great. Thanks.
All right, Craig, thank you so much.
Just have me back.
Absolutely.
All right.
We will be back with another talk with the county manager at a later day, but thank you so much for joining us.